Previously, we discussed the first film in the Rocky series, Rocky. Obviously, I think it's one of the best films of all time. The best thing is, I wasn't the only one. The Academy Awards thought so too, as the film won Best Picture in 1977, along with Best Director and Best Film Editing. It was even the highest grossing film of 1976. So, of course, a sequel wasn't bound. Usually whenever this happened, the sequel would usually be worse than the first film, as you probably know from my past. However, sometimes a sequel can not only be on the same level of quality that the first film was on, but sometimes can even be considered better. And thankfully, this one is an example of the latter. This is Rocky II. Rocky II is the first Rocky film that was both written and directed by Sylvester Stallone himself. And even though this film gets nowhere near as much praise as the first, didn't even get nominated for any Oscars, I think it should be, as it has the most iconic scenes, images, and moments of the whole franchise. Does it hold up to the same standard of the first film? Well, yeah, obviously. I just said it was an example of a sequel that's better than the first. Aren't you listening? Pay attention! The film follows Rocky Balboa, played again by Sylvester Stallone, who after his brutal fight with Apollo Creed, played again by Carl Weathers, retires from boxing. After this, he gets married to Adrian, played again by Talia Shire, and becomes brother-in-law to Polly, Burt Young. However, when he realizes that all he can do is fight, and Apollo wants to fight Balboa again, Rocky has no choice but to fight, to Adrian's dismay. So before I gush out about how fantastic this movie is, I should start with the negatives. The negatives are... Yeah, even after all these years, I still can't think of anything negative to say about this film. At least with the first film, there was that scene where Rocky kisses Adrian for the first time. That still makes me feel uncomfortable. Even just thinking about it makes me feel icky. However, with this film, I can't think of anything negative to say. I guess if there's one thing, Apollo's character is underdeveloped a bit. Yeah, I know it's called Rocky, not Creed. Wait. However, this was something that Rocky Balboa, the sixth film, which is called Rocky 6, sorry, did better than the first film. Than the second film. The first and second film. Both of them. All of the films. It fleshes out the opponent boxer, which we did get a bit here, with Apollo's inner turmoil as he begins to get blinded with revenge. But the film never seems to go into Apollo any deeper than the surface. Aside from that, there isn't much else to say that hasn't already been said. But is that going to stop me? I mean, it has before, but that's not important right now. What I prefer in this over the first film is the emotional weight. Spoilers for the film, but there is a sequence where Adrian goes into a coma from forcefully overworking herself to provide for both herself and Rocky. The 10 minutes, around 10 minutes I would say, that precede are some of the darkest stuff I've seen in this series. Rocky is basically depressed over the thought of losing Adrian. The baby's fine, but Adrian might not be. It's really sad, but then all is well in the end, so that's good. Adrian allows Rocky to fight Apollo again, and the training montage comes directly after. It's just, this movie's so fucking good. After this, there's the most famous scene in the film, the Philadelphia running scene. Everyone knows that scene. It's literally the most famous scene in the whole franchise. Literally the friggin' capital of Rocky. I don't even need to tell you why it's a fantastic scene. The music, the cinematography, the mood, the acting, it all just clicks. No notes. Actually, one note. I would show you this, but because I have very low subscribers, I can't show you any clips because that's copyright. Even though it's fair use. It works for big YouTubers. Why does it not work for me? Good God. Anyways, back to the film. The final boxing match is nothing short of brilliant. Again, it's shot perfectly. However, there is something that I only figured out once it was pointed out by James Rolfe, Cinemassacre, in his review of the whole franchise. I'll link it in the description, maybe. Rocky gets hit in the head more times than me after making my reviews of the new Dune movies. Self-burn. Like, seriously, how the hell is he still alive? His beating in Rocky 3 looks less brutal. Is that another negative? It is! I found something else about this movie that I don't like. And it's more of a nitpick, but doesn't make me think less of this film whatsoever. The acting, the cinematography, the writing, the editing, the music, the direction, the tone, and the themes are all done perfectly in this. The less than stellar focus on Apollo and the unrealistically furious beatings Rocky takes to the head drag it down a little bit, but it doesn't ruin the film for me whatsoever. It's still a masterclass of cinema that not only stands toe-to-toe with the first film, but is even better than it. And that's something I never thought I would ever say about a sequel. Actually, no, I can say that about a few. Godfather Part 2, Terminator 2, Rocky 4, etc., etc. 9.5 out of 10. A truly marvelous experience. So, 2 fantastic films in a row. Will Rocky 3 continue the trend, or will it dip in quality a bit? Well, leaning more in the middle, so you'll have to wait and see. Also, this is unrelated, but I've seen this a lot in the internet. I just need to get this out. Can you stop insulting people who think The Amazing Digital Circus is better than Murder Drones? For me, it is. It's just more of my taste in like content. I made a whole review, episode 88, about Murder Drones, and I like it. But that doesn't mean you have the right to make others feel bad for liking Digital Circus. Just stop. Good God. People are just so, like, defensive about everything now. Just stupid. Anyways, goodbye. Boopity boop. Deleted scene. Okay, I know this is gonna be weird a little bit, but I need to show you the script because there was something I cut out from the script, even though it's still there. So when I was talking about Apollo's studying him deeper than the surface, I added this extra bit where I said, "Get it? It's like the ocean. I'm funny. Please tell me I'm funny." Clear throat. I'm fine, anyways, and then I will continue on from there. But I left that out because I thought that was so stupid and so unfunny that even I thought it was terrible. And I don't even think I'm funny. I think I'm terrible at comedy. But yeah, so that's why I was silent for a few seconds around the point of this part of the script. I'm sure none of you care about this whatsoever, but just like I mentioned it, mainly to pad out the runtime, because this is under 9-10 minutes, and as we all know, YouTube won't put anything in the algorithm unless it's over 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Bye.